I'm the Who Guy and welcome back to a very special video where today we're finally looking at the 15th Doctor's TARDIS from B&M and Character. This release costs $19.99 and you can find it, or try to find it, in your B&M. I've been around 50 B&Ms, couldn't find it. Finally found one eventually. I'm really excited to get this open. Of course, I hate the whole B&M hunt thing, not being able to buy it online or just find it in store without any problems. So make sure you do grab this as soon as you see it, because they will not be staying around on shelves for much longer. Of course, Character have released two sets, this one being one, and the Dalek set that will be coming out on the channel very soon. But I can't wait to get this open, so let's get straight into it. Here it is in its lovely box, and oh my word, the packaging for this is such a step up from the previous TARDIS packaging we have got, and it's mainly because of the actual physical window that we are getting. It's not great for my camera, as you can see, for the reflection, but inbox collectors are going to love this because it's just a nicer way to keep your TARDIS in better condition if you're going to keep it in a box. I don't know if they actually meant this or it was an accident. I've seen some rumours that maybe it was an accident. However, I'm really happy to see it on this release. And of course, this is the 15th Doctor's TARDIS, so we've got that style guide with the kind of pinky purple vortex, got the Doctor Who logo on the top left, and Jodie Whittaker's, David Tennant's and Ncuti Gatwa's TARDIS in the bottom left, as well as the title of the set, and that this is of course the electronic vehicle with lights and sounds made by Character. You got the limited edition sticker there, as well as some little diamonds showing what's inside, including that brand new TARDIS interior, which is going to be really exciting to see, as well as featuring light and sound effects, and of course it being part of the 5.5-inch collector's range. Turning to the side of the box, you got the Doctor Who logo, as well as some of that vortex design carrying on down the bottom, as well as the set name. The other side of the box has another window where you can see inside for your TARDIS, as well as some diamonds showing what is inside. The top of the box has the Doctor Who logo, as well as the website. And on the bottom, you've got your instructions, how to replace your batteries, and the TARDIS insert card, which we will get into this video. But on the back, of course, we get that awesome bio all about the 15th Doctor's TARDIS, and it just goes through pretty much the history of the TARDIS, which is pretty nice for collectors, as well as the contents page and some more diamonds just showing that it has light and sound effects. So lovely packaging once again from Character. Really do like it. Let's open this up and take a closer look at that TARDIS. And here it is, the 15th Doctor's TARDIS, finally a re-release of this same sculpt that we got back when Jodie Whittaker was the Doctor, but there have been some revisions, including the colour of the TARDIS. We will compare later in the video to that previous release, but just looking at this TARDIS, I think it's a decent representation of the current show box. Of course, it's not 100% accurate because it is using that old classic mould. However, they have updated it to try and make it a little bit more accurate. Overall, the TARDIS has a nice blue tone to it, much darker to that of the 13th Doctor box that was released, and I think it definitely resembles the TARDIS now than the Jodie Whittaker one, which is a nice addition to have a different shade of this TARDIS. I was worried they were just literally going to re-release the same TARDIS, but no, they have updated the colour on this one to make it this a darker blue, and overall you can see the detail, looks wonderful. Of course, get the lamp at the top, which was of course present during the whole of his tenure, and we get the stacked roof, which was of course specially made for that 13th Doctor release, and it's back here. And on the front door, of course, you get the two windows, which have been represented pretty nicely with the white background and the silver outline. However, the frosted glass, once again, is inaccurate. It has the two frosted panes down the middle. That is not present on the actual box, so that is a bit unfortunate. We, of course, get the pull to open sign, which has been represented perfectly here, as well as the keyhole and door handle. The texture on this box is fantastic as well. You get the wood grain effect all over the TARDIS, which is awesome. However, mine does have this kind of weird bit here. I don't know whether you can see that. It looks like some of the wash or something has come off. I'm not sure that's present on all releases or just my one, and I got unlucky. However, the ones that I saw in the shop seem to all have this, so hopefully yours doesn't, because it does detract it. Certain lighting, it looks fine. Lighting like this, though, it is very obvious. We, of course, get the chunky base down the bottom as well, which is, of course, accurate to the prop. But also, we have the new addition of the notches, which I must admit are very faint. When the TARDIS pictures were released, I thought, oh no, this could be a problem. because I thought they looked quite ugly, and I've got to say, no, I actually do like the notches. In person, they're so much better than the pictures. So if you were a bit iffy on them, make sure to pop down to your local B&M and hopefully find them and have a look at the notches, see whether they're too present or not, because some people don't like them, but I think it's been a nice addition. Unfortunately, the police public call box at the top is a sticker, and some of them are misaligned on the box, especially that one. That one is, yeah, not really great, the way it's just peeling off. It would have been nice if these were printed, but I understand we haven't had printed ones for a while, so this one is pretty nice just to get it stickered. However, the sticker application is a bit naff. And getting to the back of the box, of course this is an electronic TARDIS, so it does have features that we will get into. So you get the speaker grill and the battery compartment. You're not really going to see this though, as it's at the back of the box. But overall, for the exterior, I think it's a lovely box. It's going to be one of my favourite in the collection, because the Jodie Whittaker one was one of my favourite in the collection, and I actually think I prefer this shade of blue, so I'm very happy with it. But of course, it does have a couple of features like every other TARDIS does, so you can, of course, open the doors, and as you can see, we get the brand new interior card. And it's really nice to finally get interior cards into these classic boxes. Of course, we did get one in that Fugitive Doctor release, but this one's actually inserted for us and looks lovely. Unfortunately, the base doesn't actually match. It is a blue when actually should be a white grey colour. However, it is just nice to finally get interior cards. It doesn't actually fill the whole roof, so there is a gap at the top, but I guess it's the best they could have done. I think I would have liked the picture just to be a bit further back. It feels like the console is too close to you, but it's just a little nitpick just to get the interior cards now, which should be a given really in these TARDIS releases. It's nice to see them back. And of course, these doors can close like they normally do, just like that. And then there's a button on the base. You just press that in and that closes the TARDIS door. But of course, this is an electronic TARDIS, so there is some switches on the bottom, and then you have that little notch at the bottom. So when you place down your TARDIS, you will get this noise. So yes, the lovely TARDIS landing noise. It can be quite tinny. It might vary from speaker to speaker. The speaker quality isn't the greatest, but I love that the light keeps on flashing, that lovely blue that is accurate to the show now. It, of course, would have been nice to have light up signage and light up windows, but of course that isn't present on these classic box releases. And of course, you can lift the box to get the second noise. Pretty cool. And well, you're going to put it down again and it's going to do it. It doesn't have any of the kind of rumble mode or spin mode like some of the newer TARDISes do, but overall it's really nice to get this on a £19.99 release, some sounds and lights. But that is not it for this TARDIS. It did come with an extra accessory. And that accessory being this, yes, wrapped up really, really nicely. We open it up and wow, yes, they've given us another card. Yes, an insert card for the 13th Doctor's TARDIS. Really nice inclusion. Of course, her original release didn't come with this inserted or at all. So it's really nice that if you have that previous release, you can add this or add it into this new box and it will pretty much be accurate. Yeah, the colour will be off, but it's pretty neat and it's a nice addition to the collection. So it's really nice that they've included this, something I didn't think they would include, but they have. And of course, there's other TARDISes you can make from this. You can make the Memory TARDIS, the Master's TARDIS, any TARDIS that you want, you could use using this box. So if you wanted to grab a couple from B&M, you can do so and make multiple boxes. But it's nice to get this included if you didn't get that Jodie Whittaker first release. I will say though, of course, this is quite zoomed in. Once again, I think the TARDIS should be a bit more set back when this is inserted inside your box, but it's really nice to have, and it is of course portraying really the earlier version of the 13th Doctor TARDIS. So comparing both boxes, as you can see, there isn't too much of a difference. On camera, it's going to be quite hard to show you the different colours. However, there is a contrast. I will try and put up some better pictures. But of course, most of the detail on this TARDIS and the sculpt is exactly the same. I would say the silver used on this newer version on the windows is much lighter, and the white panels at the back are whiter than this kind of grey they used with the 13th Doctor release. I also do appreciate the doors on this one, because this one, I don't know if it's present on all releases. I don't see many people pick up on this, but both of the doors have like a different shade of colour. I don't know whether that's just present on mine. That isn't present on this TARDIS release. And of course, we get the new notches, which this one doesn't. But apart from that, they are exactly the same box. And of course, when you're opening it up, this original release didn't have the insert card. I have made my own custom insert card on that one. I think that looks pretty cool. It isn't the best picture, but it's the more newer version of the 13th Doctor's interior, and a bit set back, which I think is a bit more accurate. Of course, this one was still inaccurate with the kind of blue base this one had. So I think it is definitely worth picking this one up if you do have the original release. Just these subtle changes do make this one much more accurate, as well as, of course, more accurate to the 15th Doctor. Of course, they both include the same electronics. I do like both of these boxes. Of course, these TARDISes are in scale with the 5.5-inch range, so you can grab your Shooty figure or a David Tennant figure and add it to this awesome TARDIS. Of course, it looks wonderful with the Doctor inside. It's just really nice to have a TARDIS finally for the 15th and 14th Doctors. And it's just a nice addition to your 15th Doctor collection. You could add your Ruby Sunday figure, unfortunately no Belinda yet, and it just looks really nice in the backdrop. So what do you think about this TARDIS? Comment below. Overall, I think this is a fantastic release from Character Options and B&M. Notches were kind of a deal breaker with me when I first saw the pictures. I thought, oh, they don't look great. Actually in hand, they're not as bad as it looks. I love the use of the brand new interior card, being one of my favourite interiors. Of course, we get the 13th Doctor one, which of course is greatly appreciated. And of course, the electronics on this are awesome as always. What do you think? Comment down below. Will you be picking one up? Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. And smash that like button if you've enjoyed the review. And also watch loads more Doctor Who reviews on the channel. I've been the Who Guy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!